Warren, Italy first up. We all know they can be a banana skin. So what's been your philosophy towards this selection?
Yeah, we've spoken about that potential banana skin, particularly what they did last year against France and for us as well. And speaking to Rob Howley about how slowly we started the competition, particularly that poor performance against Ireland in the first half in particular. So yeah, it's just making sure that we hopefully can get off to a good start, get a bit of confidence, get a bit of momentum. And if you look at the squad that we picked, or the team that we've picked, a very strong side. Almost got everyone available for selection, which is probably pretty rare in today's terms. And for us as coaches, it's probably the hardest team that we've had to select for a long time. But people would look at it and go, "Oh, it's sort of a team that picks itself." But there was a lot of debate and discussion about certain selections and even about the bench, which is really positive and really healthy for the squad.
Well, let's look at the captaincy to begin with. Alan Wynne leading the team because presumably of injury to Sam.
Yeah, well, Sam's on the bench and he's come through training really well, and you know how lucky we are. We're blessed, I suppose, in having two world-class sevens and Sam and Justin. And Justin's been training, so Sam will get an opportunity to come on, whether he comes on at 6 or 8 or he comes on at 7. So we've been running him a little bit at 8 and looking for that depth there. We're a little bit short there at the moment with Ryan being out injured, and if Toby does pick up an injury, we've just got to make sure we've got cover there. So he's come through training, and as a result, Gethin Jenkins was almost fit for selection, but we felt like we just wanted to give him another week, and just in terms of rehab and recovery, and that sort of opened up the door for Alan Wynne to captain the side.
That injury to Gethin means that Paul James is playing. He's not a bad replacement. He's got 49 caps, so he's not a bad replacement to have in the front row. Yeah,
absolutely, and he's been playing outstandingly well for Bath, and he's come into the squad with a lot of confidence. He's in good shape, and I think he'll do a really good job for us. And so we're quite fortunate at the moment. We've got certain players in certain positions with a lot of depth in the squad, and it gives us the opportunity to mix and match a little bit, and also be comfortable if we've got one or two players that aren't fit. We've got adequate replacements.
You mentioned obviously the injury to Sam, but looking at the back row with 3 British Lions in the back row, it's quite a formidable back three you've got there.
It is, yeah. No, it's pretty potent. It's good to see Dan Liddy to come back, and we've sort of released him back today to go back to Paris. His his fiance has gone into labour, so spoken to him about that, and said, look, take a few days, and if you get back tomorrow or Thursday, even Friday, we'll be able to accommodate doing without him for a couple of days, because that's pretty important. We always stress with the squad about how important family is, and so I did speak to him, look, if he wanted the weekend off, and perhaps think about the following week, but he's adamant he wants to get back and play. So fingers crossed it's not a false alarm, and he's going back to Paris for the, hopefully for the birth of his child.
Mike Phillips and Rhys Priestland at halfback. They were, of course, the Grand Slam winning halfbacks in 2012. So nice to get those two reunited.
Yeah, it is. But I'm just saying, I've been really impressed with Rhys Webb in terms of his performances in the last couple of weeks, and coming back, he's been training exceptionally well. So that was a tough call for us in terms of 9, and we feel like at the moment, we've sort of stuck our necks out a little bit and given Rhys Priestland the opportunities. He had a few weeks ago, had a couple of good games for the Scarlets, but then, we know how well Dan Bigger's been going, how reliable he is. He's missed out in the squad, and then we've got James Hook, who's come onto the bench and probably gives us a little bit more cover in terms of the options and positions he can play, whether it's at 10 or 15, or we've even used him in the midfield as well. So yeah, that was it was a tough call, but Rhys gets a nod at 10, and there's a certain amount of pressure for him to go out there and perform and hopefully do well. And because if he doesn't, there's players in there who can step up, and so that's that competition that we're looking for in the squad.
With the injury to John Davis, people would say it was inevitable that you'd pick Jamie and Scott in the centre.
Yeah, and with Jonathan, he's not too far away. We're going to release him back to the Scarlets. He's going to play for the Scarlets this weekend. So that's great news in terms of the amount of progress that he's made. He's been doing, he's been training fully with us. He's been doing contact. So we're really, really pleased with his progress in terms of how far he's come. And again, that adds to the strength and the depth of the squad. And you know, it's great to see him come back and be fit. You know, even if it's just for regional rugby for this weekend, but it's a huge boost to the squad and a huge boost to him and us.
Perhaps there weren't too many arguments in picking the back three, the two wingers and the fullback.
No, I think it's that you know, we haven't got a lot of depth. We didn't pick a lot of backs in the squad, and we might add a couple more in as well. So I think that at the moment they probably pick themselves, but we've got an adequate replacement on the bench in terms of Liam Williams and the quality that he's got, and he's had some excellent games for us recently. So again, you know, some real strength and depth in those positions, particularly as we've got a full squad coming back and not too many injuries.
Is it a confident selection?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably the strongest side that we've put out against Italy for a reasonable amount of time. We want to get off to this competition with a good start and send out a statement to everyone else. And you know, we realise there's been a certain amount of infighting within Welsh rugby out of our control, but all we can do is go out there and give a performance, and you know, and let the rugby do the talking, and hopefully it's a really good, positive, confident start against Italy this weekend.
And avoid a banana skin.
Absolutely.